Family members of a pregnant woman who was killed last month in Lexington will march for justice tonight. A preview first at 4:30. The case against a man accused of killing a Kentucky National Guard soldier is being sent to the grand jury. Two Anderson County sisters are facing kidnapping, assault, and robbery charges. Details ahead on WKYT News at 4:30.
This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon to you. Amber Philpott and Barbara Bailey reporting Sam is off. Instead of celebrating life, a Lexington family is preparing to spend tonight mourning the loss of a mother and her unborn baby.
Mariah Coleman's due date was today, but last month she and her baby were shot and killed. Our Monique Blair is live outside the Lexington courthouse now, where her family plans to march for justice as police continue to search for her killer. It's our top story at 4:30.
Hi, Amber and Barbara. Yes, today was Mariah Coleman's due date, and now instead of celebrating the birth of baby Jacoby, Mariah Coleman's friends and family members will be out here rallying on the courthouse steps to remember the young mother and her unborn child. Lexington police say a little more than a month ago, 22-year-old Mariah Coleman was shot by a stray bullet while she was out walking her dog on Winburn Avenue. She was 8 months pregnant. No arrests have been made in this case, and no new leads in this case have been released. Shortly after the shooting, police said there were likely several people in the area when Coleman was shot. And now Coleman's mother is expected to be here tonight along with dozens of friends and family members. They plan to not only honor the two lives that were lost, but also to plea for someone to come forward, anyone who may know who is responsible for killing Mariah and Jacoby. Now, last week I talked to Jacoby's family. They told me they will also be here, and they're holding this rally to keep this case alive so nobody forgets about it. Reporting live in Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. That rally begins at 6 o'clock tonight, and anyone is welcome to join in. Well, it is certainly a beautiful day here in the Bluegrass today, full of sunshine, but you can expect some big changes in the temperature.
We want to check in now with our chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey. Hi, Chris.
Hi, guys. Yeah, temperature's taking a dive just to our west. That dive arrives late tonight, early into the day tomorrow. We're still on the good side of that front. That's if you're a fan of the 70s, widespread 70s, central and eastern Kentucky, southwesterly wind. Let me bounce the temperatures out a little bit. And notice the big drop to our west. You go from 74 Paducah, 70 into St. Louis, and look into parts of Iowa, northern Missouri. 40s show up. That is behind this cold front that is out there. That has a nice shot of cold coming in behind it. We are, again, on the sunny side of things, windy weather to our west, and a scattering of showers and thunderstorms. I don't want you to get the wrong impression that this is just going to be a washout of a night or early tomorrow. It's going to be some scattered stuff that'll roll on into central and eastern Kentucky. Defender Radar Network, I've got the clouds into the mix so you can see that increase showing up on your western skyline over the next few hours. And by 11 this evening, anyone is fair game for an isolated shower or thunderstorm with temperatures that will stay into the 60s right on through 11 o'clock. Though, when I come back in a few minutes, we've got that hour-by-hour forecast to show you some changes to the weekend outlook. We'll break that down in just a few.
Chris, we'll see you then. Thank you. The case against Michael Poe has been waived to a grand jury. Poe is charged with second-degree manslaughter following a deadly crash in April. Police say Poe was driving when he crashed on Athens-Boonesboro Road. 22-year-old National Guardsman Nick Rucker was thrown from the car and died at the scene. Officers say Poe was driving at more than 120 miles per hour and that his blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit. A date for the grand jury hearing has not yet been set. We'll have more on this case ahead for you on WKYT News at 5:30.
Lexington police are still searching for two suspects who they say nearly hit an officer. It happened around 3:30 this morning at the Econo Lodge on Athens-Boonesboro Road near Interstate 75. One officer had to jump out of the way to avoid being hit. Police tell us the car took off going southbound on I-75 towards Madison County. They say they're looking for a 2003 white Dodge Stratus. Well, two Central Kentucky sisters are behind bars on kidnapping and other charges after Anderson County police say they lured a man into a waiting vehicle.
That's where he was beaten and then robbed. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is at the live desk tracking this investigation. Hillary?
Well, Amber, in addition to the two sisters, the Anderson County Sheriff says charges have been filed against another woman, and they are expecting to charge two men they also believe were involved.
The crime happened back in September. However, the two women were not arrested until last week. They are now accused of helping kidnap and rob a man. The sheriff says Ashley Beasley and her sister Christina Baker Sloan, along with any others involved, had a laid out plan when they lured the victim, an employee at McDonald's, out to a vehicle. Investigators say they then took him to a nearby bank.
Forced to take money out of an ATM.
After that, the sheriff says they drove him to a rural part of the county where they beat him and left him. The sheriff says his injuries were severe.
The young man that was victimized had broken arm, some head injuries, and a possible broken rib. He was transported to a hospital that night and treated.
The sisters are facing charges of kidnapping, assault, robbery, wanton endangerment, and criminal mischief.
Now, Sheriff Joe Mylan says at this point they are not releasing the name of that other woman who is facing charges but has not yet been arrested. At the live desk, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
And he says one of the people they believe is involved is a juvenile.
Well, Janet Jackson is one glowing mom-to-be. How she confirmed the news. Ahead on WKYT News at 4:30.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Skies are blue across most of central and eastern Kentucky, but on the western horizon now, starting to see the clouds of change beginning to show up. Those will arrive in earnest a little later this evening. Skycam focused on that western horizon. Notice the leaves there at the bottom showing a little color, and they're also dancing with a breeze that is blowing. And those ice crystal clouds are beginning to filter on into town. 70s across all of central and eastern Kentucky as of now. If you're out and about this evening, it's a mild one. Upper 60s after sunset, right around 60 to 65 degrees for the better part of the evening. And by late evening, central Kentucky especially, threat for a shower or thunderstorm. Nothing showing up into the central or eastern parts of the state. All the action right now is off to our west. Clouds are increasing, and it's not a ton of moisture, so if you're thinking, man, my yard's going to get a nice drink of water, that's probably not going to be the case. You may get a little drink of water tonight and tomorrow morning, but not a ton will fall from the skies out of this type of a setup. Yes, you've got mild air. Yes, you've got cold air kind of bumping up against one another, but you don't have a big moisture supply coming into this storm out of the Gulf of Mexico. So whatever shower action we are getting along this front, it is just simply from the rising air right along that boundary. And there's that cold high pressure coming in across the plain states. Over the next 3 days, a shower or two around early tomorrow morning. It's windy and it's cool. I can't rule out a late day shower on Saturday. I think there's a better chance, or Friday. I think there's a better chance Friday and into Saturday. Am I saying to cancel your plans on Saturday? No, not at all. I am saying, though, that the rain chances now are just a little higher than what we were talking about yesterday. So our cold front, this is the first front, zipped through here tonight, and by tomorrow is already pressing toward the Appalachian Mountains into the early part of the morning. Chilly high pressure comes in behind this, and that high will carry us right on through the rest of the day on Thursday and into Friday as well. Hour-by-hour forecast with updates each and every hour based on the latest radar trends, based on the latest computer models. So here's the latest and greatest version of that. And you notice the best chance of rain comes through tonight while many of us are asleep. Early tomorrow morning, still a shower or two left over, but a lot of low-level clouds will hang tough through noontime. And 55 to 60 at noon tomorrow. And with a gusty wind, going to kind of have a little bite to the air tomorrow afternoon. Southern eastern parts of the state, it may be a struggle to get the sun to come out. Northern parts of the area, hey, the sun will come out, but it will be a struggle to get out of the low 60s. And by 11 tomorrow night, upper 40s already showing up. We go through the day on Friday. For the most part, Friday looks pretty good right now. They'll watch the rain southern Kentucky by the end of the day, and that may impact some of those high school football games farther south and east that we live on Friday evening, and then by Friday night and Saturday. So you see that rain beginning to increase a little bit based on the latest data. So not a washout of a weekend, not saying that. I just think the chances for some rain are greater today than what we talked about yesterday for Friday night and into Saturday especially. Could even be a clap of thunder at some point this weekend. Temperatures should be 70-ish, if not some low 70s. Look at early next week. We'll be where we are today. upper 70s, gusty winds, and then a big temperature crash coming with another front on Wednesday.
I like when you sprinkle in all sorts of things just so we're covered in the 7-day forecast.
Yeah, the only thing that's missing from that is winter stuff. But
well,
you know what?
No,
give me a
okay.
month, all right? Give me a month.
You don't have to have everything in.
Thanks,
all right.
Chris.
Well, an Italian winemaker claims he's found a classical concept to making better wine.
Seth Doan reports now from Tuscany.
Row after row of Sangiovese grapevines cover the hills of Montalcino in Tuscany, where famed Brunello wine is made. But one of these vineyards is a bit different. Just listen. The grapes here are serenaded all day, every day by classical music. Giancarlo Cignozzi started pumping Mozart into a section of his vineyard, El Paradiso di Frassina. He found the vines closer to the music grew bigger and toward the source of the sound. Ulisse is Cignozzi's son and another winemaker who sounds more like a scientist.
The grapes close to the speaker have the higher sugar content, so we believe in this idea.
It wasn't long before this idea piqued the interest of scientists and turned this vineyard into a laboratory. When you first heard about this guy growing grapes and playing music, what did you think?
That he was another crazy guy.
Stefano Mancuso at the University of Florence is a plant scientist.
These vines like Mozart? It's very difficult to say that plants like classical music. What they are able actually to do is to perceive sounds.
He theorizes Cignozzi's vines may grow toward the speakers because frequencies resemble those of running water. They figure the music confuses harmful bugs, making them unable to breed. The music also scares away birds and other creatures who feed on grapes. Cignozzi is proud of the research, not to mention their wines. As for the idea that these vines are reacting simply to sound vibrations, not specifically Mozart, well, this is Italy.
I prefer the music. Sorry, but I'm very romantic.
Seth Doan, CBS News, Montalcino, Italy.
It is a lovely sound. The consumer electronics company Bose heard about the studies, donated 72 speakers, and even financed more research.
I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about in Mercer County today, where they're training competition dogs, canine dogs, and dogs to even help you at home. We'll tell you more about canine motivation when we return here on WKYT.
We're glad you're with us today. They train protection dogs, competition dogs, and dogs to help you at home. And they're right here in Kentucky.
And our Deanne Stevens is out and about at Canine Motivation in Mercer County. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are out and about today in Mercer County, and we are at a place called Canine Motivation. And this guy right here, Nick Risden, trains these dogs to be either work for law enforcement or to compete. Now, this is a competition dog by the name of Glock, and Glock is just, I hate to say, dying to compete right now and dying to do what you've taught him to do. Nick, tell us what you're doing here right now.
Right now we're working on his bark and hold because the protection dogs have to be amazingly under control. He is like wanting to bump my sleeve, so we're working on him having a little bit of distance, and he gets rewarded for that.
Now, is this something that you do with the canine dogs? This is what you're teaching them?
Yes, ma'am.
And
the control and the bite work.
Okay, all right, let's get started and tell folks how you're going to do it.
She's going to activate him, and then she's going to inch him in here, set him here. After he gives me a certain number of barks that are under rhythm and controlled, then he will get what he wants, which is the bite.
Okay, let's get started with Glock.
Good boy. Oh, that's a good boy. Oh.
And that's all he wanted to do,
yes.
Isn't it?
And this is a Nerf stick. It's not nothing mean. I showed it to you earlier. Right. It's more just, it gets him excited, and he likes to fight. And
well, you said these dogs, you just motivate them, and you motivate them by what they want, which is either the ball or the sleeve at this point, right? Yes. And so these dogs, how How much training does it take for these dogs, either to go as a canine dog or to go as a protection? I saw on your page, protection puppy.
2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years. Wow. And how many hours have you trained with that dog so far?
I mean, if I had to guess, 1,000 to 1,500 hours in this dog in probably 25 different states over the last year. It's a lot of people that do it, they really get into it, the competition wise. And the World Championship just took place in Germany. George Foreman, like typical athletes that used to do, really get into the competition part of it. And so he has a lot of training in him. He's my personal dog, so biting Daddy is a lot different than biting a bad guy. But we're doing this for more control purposes and getting him ready.
But these are dogs that you train to protect people and to protect families, and they don't just do it to train them to be canine dogs. They also can do it for your family if this is something that you're interested in. And what I love, I promise you, this dog, if you'll tell him it's okay, I'm going to show you what a sweetheart this is. Is he good? Hey, Glock, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. Oh, wait till he's done barking. He actually has been a total sweetheart, and I love that because you said it really is in the genetics. You can have dogs that are, as you call them, psycho dogs.
Yes, we don't want the stuff like that. One of his sisters is a search and rescue dog. One of them, a couple of them live as pets. Give him his ball. A couple of them live as pets. One of them is a police officer, one does search and rescue, so they can go into several different aspects of training.
I am fascinated, completely fascinated. How can folks get more info?
The Facebook page, Canine Motivation, or our website, caninemotivation.com, is really the easiest way to get in contact with us. So,
pretty cool thing that you guys are doing out here.
It's fun stuff. I play with dogs all day. I can't complain.
I want his job. I want his job. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about in Mercer County with Glock. Now, I'm going to do some training while I'm here. Is that all right? Will this work for a Yorkie too?
I charge a lot more for Yorkies. I'm telling you, it's a lot harder on the Yorkies.
I bet. You guys check him out. Canine Motivation on Facebook. Back to you.
I know Deanne's Yorkie. I don't think it's going to be doing that anytime soon.
No, probably not. But boy, what a beautiful dog.
Oh, and they're so smart. Jana Jackson says she is pregnant with her first child.
The 50-year-old superstar confirmed the news to People magazine, calling it a blessing. The magazine also shared an exclusive photo showing Jackson's baby bump. Jackson postponed her tour in April for what she called family planning time, and pregnancy rumors started swirling then. The singer married her billionaire businessman husband in 2012.
It is no diamond in the rough, but a diamond of father-daughter duo found in a park. The delightful discovery after the break. Barb, I love these days where it is so blue outside, and then you're starting to see the leaves change a little bit. It's lovely this time of year.
But this time of year, the other thing that goes with that is it changes very quickly. And Chris, we have some changes ahead, don't we?
Yeah, we're going to get those changes in just a matter of a few hours, actually, as some clouds will increase, then a gusty shower or two, then some cooler air. Right now, it's mid to upper 70s across much of central and eastern Kentucky. That deep blue October sky is indeed out there, but a cold front that is off to our west will bring some changes into town as we go through later tonight and into the day tomorrow. So goodbye mild, hello windy, and chilly weather that will blow in here later tonight and into the day tomorrow, and anyone will be fair game for a gusty shower as we work our way through the early part of our Thursday. Brand new hour-by-hour forecast that will take you into the start of the weekend just ahead. Right now, let's check on live drive traffic. Here's Officer Don.
Hey, the collision at New Circle and Liberty has been cleared, so we're good to go there. Just had a report of a new one downtown. I believe that one's on Richmond Road, just before Main Street inbound past Ashland. Drive time so far this afternoon: to Nicholasville, 12 minutes; to Georgetown, running 15; and to Winchester, looking good, about 29 minutes on I-64 toward Clark County. Now back to you in the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. A gas explosion levels a home, a big find at a state park, and a bizarre clown sighting. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
A frightening wake-up for families in a Chicago suburb. Firefighters say a gas explosion leveled a home. This is what the scene looked like overnight. Several neighbors told the Chicago Tribune it sounded like a bomb had gone off. Others compared it to an earthquake. Police evacuated several blocks around the destroyed home so they could fight the fire. Investigators say 2 gas company workers were injured, one of them critically. No one was in the building when it exploded.
A father-daughter duo hit the jackpot during their first visit to Crater of Diamonds State Park in Arkansas. Dan and Lauren Frederick were there for less than an hour when they spotted a 2-carat rock on the ground. The state park in Arkansas is the only diamond-producing site in the world where anyone can come look for the gems and keep whatever they find. They nicknamed their find Lucky Diamond. No word yet on how much the stone might be worth, but it is a safe bet it's worth much more than the $16 the Frederick spent on admission to get in.
I think that's safe. Absolutely. Well, like Meta, you may be over the whole creepy clown thing, but that hasn't stopped the growing number of sightings. The latest sighting to make headlines is out of Detroit, where a driver captured disturbing video of this creepy clown hanging off the back of a city bus. Commuters were understandably perplexed, and so was Detroit's Department of Transportation. The video was given to police, who are now investigating the bizarre bozo stowaway.
Chalk that one up to the just not a good idea category, right?
I don't want to see that.
Me either. All right. Please stick with us. You do want to see us right here. Our news coming your way at 5 o'clock.